There are these places that that time just forgets, you know, not like ancient ruins, but like a gas station that closed last year or an old hospital.
Yeah, the ones that feel like someone just walked away mid-sentence.
Exactly. You step inside and the air is just heavy and the silence is,
Mm.
it's so loud. It feels like you've just walked into a memory that isn't yours.
And that feeling, that visceral sense of decay is really the fuel for this whole world of digital urban exploration, which is what we're diving into today.
Yeah.
Specifically, this modern legend that's kind of bubbled up in these online communities.
The story of Grace and Vance.
And the legend of Florence Hill Hospital. This is perfect storm of a cautionary tale, mixed with this whole culture of turning real-world risk into online views.
So we need to look past just the spooky story itself.
Right.
And figure out what this whole thing, Vance, the hospital, the hatch, what it tells us about our fascination with decay, with ruin porn, as they call it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because this isn't just about someone breaking and entering. It's about performance. It's turning this private, quiet curiosity into a show for everyone else.
Yeah, and the story starts small, right? The obsession begins with, like, a local gas station.
It's a super simple one.
Yeah.
Shut down after a truck crash, and the narrator finds these candy bars in a freezer, all bloated and sagging.
Ugh.
And that's the moment. That's the click. Realizing you're standing in someone else's story, just paused, decaying.
That's where that feeling of honesty comes from. These are the raw corners of the world, you know? But you can only really do that so many times on your own.
And that's where a guide comes in. That's where you get a figure like Grace and Vance.
He wasn't just another guy with a camera.
Yeah.
He elevated it.
Totally changed the game. His whole appeal was his professionalism. He avoided all the cliches, no cheap jump scares, no screaming into the camera.
It was more like a documentary.
Totally. These quiet, sweeping drone shots, narration that was almost respectful, whether he was in a sunken hotel in Italy or some old war bunker in Belgium.
He had this calculated authenticity. He wasn't just some influencer chasing ghosts. He was framed as like a philosopher of these forgotten places.
He was a map maker. And that legitimacy he built up is what makes the Florence Hill story so terrifying.
Right, because Florence Hill, that's not just any abandoned building. The story frames it as one of these notorious old psychiatric wards.
Which immediately gives you this baseline of institutional trauma. The stories, the local rumors you hear about it being a psych ward, a place for violent offenders.
Those aren't just random spooky detail.
No, not at all. They're narrative shortcuts. They tap directly into this collective cultural fear we have about places that used to house people society wanted to forget.
So when Grace and Vance, this master of the craft, drops a video about Florence Hill,
it's the perfect storm. And for the narrator of the legend, the place is only 30 minutes from his house.
which just yanks this whole thing out of the abstract, out of the internet, and drops it right in your backyard.
Yeah. And then there's the centerpiece of that video.
Yeah.
The thing that turns curiosity into obsession.
The hatch.
This metal, bolted-down hatch in a storage room, half hidden under some collapsed shelves.
I mean, that is the ultimate symbol of the forbidden, isn't it? It's not just a locked door. It's bolted down. Something was being contained.
Violently contained. And Grayson, Mr. Calculated Risk, he attaches a social media challenge to it.
That's where it all crosses over, right? The digital world and the physical, he says. What was it?
If this video hits 1,000 likes in 24 hours, I'll come back. I'll go down there.
It's a trade, digital validation for physical danger. And of course, the likes pour in, 1.2K.
The audience paid their ticket. They bought in. But the next video,
It never appeared.
just silence. And that silence from Grace and Vance, this hugely reliable figure, that's what gives birth to the legend. That's what convinces our narrator that the only way to get the ending is to go write it himself.
Okay, so let's get into the descent. Because the way the story is told, the hospital itself is the first monster.
Oh, absolutely. The environment is the antagonist.
Yeah.
The air is described as wet, stagnant, and full of mildew. It's something that attacks your senses right away.
And he's not even exploring, really. He's following a map.
He's following the video. He's using the watermarks on the wall, the pattern of cracked tiles, the graffiti. He's literally walking in Grayson's digital footsteps. The line between explorer and follower is gone.
Until he gets to the hatch. And the narrative just, it takes a hard left turn.
Because it's already open.
Yeah. It's open, and there are scorch marks fanned out across the floor. The handle is still warm.
The fantasy is officially over. Whatever happened here, it was violent and it was recent.
And then there's a ladder down, just this rusted, swaying metal thing. It's the story's way of saying, okay, you're letting go of safety now. You're putting your life in the hands of decay itself.
And once he's down there, it's not a basement, it's catacombs. Huge concrete slabs, rusted shelving.
And that one detail.
Yeah.
The upside-down gurney.
With the one wheel just slowly spinning, and then it just clicks and stops. It speaks volumes about how sudden whatever happened was.
Then the architecture changes. It goes from concrete to this older brick, and that's when he sees the art.
The children's mural. That is such a classic and effective horror trope.
The lion with the weird cartoon eyes, the duck in a nurse's cap.
It's that forced juxtaposition of innocence and deep trauma. It's meant to suggest that the people here were dehumanized, turned into these twisted, childlike symbols.
But the real proof, the smoking gun, is finding Grayson's camera.
Right. On a metal cart, cracked screen, logo just blinking.
And the battery is dying, which is just, it's perfect. It forces the reveal into this raw, audio-only format.
A found footage audio file. The screen goes black. You just hear, what is it?
It's a wet slithering sound, heavy scraping, a wet cough, and then this thick, awful gurgling right up against the microphone.
And then the camera dies. It is pure terror. It's all about what you can't see. Your brain fills in the blanks with something way worse than any visual could be.
That's when the dread really kicks in. The hallway walls change to that pale green hospital color. He's passing padded cells. And that's when he sees him.
The figure at the end of the hall.
And this is where we have to talk about the entity, because it's a physical manifestation of everything that place represents.
It's the hospital's trauma given a body. It's wrapped in these thick, grimy bandages. It's bound in a filthy straitjacket.
And the only things visible are the eyes and the mouth. Eyes are just red, bursting with blood vessels, and the mouth.
Jagged teeth, gums coated in black rot. It's the personification of neglect and confinement.
And the fatal mistake our narrator makes is he thinks it's a prank.
He tries to put it back in the box of urban exploration content. He whispers, I'm getting this scare on camera. He tries to make it part of the show.
And the creature just violently rejects that. It doesn't move around things. It moves through them.
Yeah.
Gurneys, furniture, just plowing through everything. Pure, unthinking violence.
And that climax on the ladder, it's terrifying.
It's the teeth.
Oh, God, the teeth. The detail about it clamping its mouth onto the metal rung below his foot.
And pulling itself up, despite the straitjacket.
That's not just a monster. That's desperation. It's its unnatural strength born from being trapped for who knows how long.
So he kicks it, the last bolt on the ladder snaps, and the whole thing just crashes into the darkness, and he hears this wet snapping sound.
And a moan. And then he's running. He escapes. But the story's not over.
Not even close, because now we get to the most important part, really. The silence.
The aftermath. He thinks about calling the police, leading them back to the hatch.
But he can't, because they'll ask questions.
Why were you there? Why didn't you try to help? Why did you run? And that's when he has this awful realization.
Whether that thing in the straitjacket was human or not.
I killed it. And the fear of judgment, of having to explain himself, it leads to absolute silence.
A silence that lets the legend grow. Grayson Vance's channel is never touched again. The comments fade out. The story is left hanging. Unresolved.
In our narrator, he walks away. He never explores again. He traded his curiosity for a lifetime of guilt.
So if the legend started as this story about the thrill of discovery, what does it become in the end?
It becomes a story about accountability. And I think that's the real horror here. It's not the creature in the basement you have to be afraid of.
What is it then?
It's the silence that comes after. When you realize you had a chance to bring some kind of truth to light, but you chose to just walk away and let the darkness swallow another story whole. That's the real price of admission.